America, and hello world. Good morning, Filipinas. Welcome to our The Teacher Voice. This is an hour show that gives the teachers the opportunity to talk on air about their unforgettable journey, thrilling adventures, to share their splendid wisdom, and to inspire and give hope to our listeners and viewers. This show airs by the Philippine Las Vegas radio station, located in the heart of Las Vegas, every Saturday at 6 p.m. Pacific Time and 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And in the Philippines, it's 9 in the morning of Sunday. I am Teacher Judy, your host, and my co-host for tonight is Teacher Pasita Ross of
Hello.
Tita Josie, we will be missing you here. And anyway, I know you will be watching this. And tonight, Tita Pasit, we have our special guest. But before we go to that,
we're going to woman.
Yes, we know her. Very popular.
Right, very well.
And very excited. But before that, we will try to say, kamusta muna sa ating mga teachers all over the world.
Okay, let's do it. Okay, magandang umaga sa Pilipinas. That's Sunday morning. And especially sa ating mga teachers at sa mga kamag-anakan ko. I am hoping that everything is well, especially for you teachers. It's your vacation this time, summer vacation. So I wish that you try to have a real nice rest and prepare yourselves for the opening on September 13. Yeah, I saw the announcement already. And be safe and be well, everybody.
True. Yes, in the midst of this pandemic, still, teachers are in action.
Oh, yeah.
And we salute our teachers that they're still in spite of this health crisis in the world.
Exactly.
So we thank you so much that you are inspiring us to see your hard work. We are very touched and moved, and we are here also supporting you. You are in our prayers, in our thoughts. Good evening to all teachers all over the world, or good morning there. So tonight we are going to read the bio notes of our special guest. And you will be happy to listen to the journey of this person. Tita Pasit?
That's right. Okay, our special guest for tonight comes from a family who has two passions, which are education and careers in health. Now, this woman has destined to accomplish both. She was a nurse clinician for more than 25 years and decided to become a full-time nurse educator. She is an associate professor of nursing at the College of Mount St. Vincent. She has taught in other institutions like the NYU or the New York University Rory Myers College of Nursing, and Pace University, that's in New York, and the Trinitas School of Nursing in New Jersey, just to name a few.
Wow. And also, this is very interesting. She believes that knowledge is vital in the pursuit of excellence.
Correct.
And therefore, one of her permanent goals is to continue to learn. She adheres to the maxim that we must all remain students for life. Her continual thirst for knowledge has manifested itself in a series of academic endeavors. She graduated as a Bachelor of Science in Nursing and a second bachelor's degree in communication.
Okay.
And 2 master's degree and a Doctor of Nursing practice degree. Continue.
Oh, yes. And besides all those academic and professional jobs she handles, she also actively participates in various Filipino-American organizations, such as the National Federation of Filipino-American Associations, or NAFA. Currently, she's the New York State Chair, and that's her second term. Also, she is the
Sure.
vice chair for the Northeast region or Region 1 of the same organization, NAFA. This year, Gail Brewer, the Manhattan Borough President, reappointed her to Community Board District 5. Now, she has to tell us what she does in this group.
Sure.
She's also active in local organizations such as the Philippine Nurses Association of New Jersey. She served 2 terms as the PRO or Press Relation Officer and also 2 terms as a board member. Now, she sums up her activities, her professional life, social life, community life in this quote. Let me read it. It would be a shame not to do something for humanity.
True.
With all the blessings we receive, the least we could do is give back. And this woman personifies that, giving back. Now, may I introduce to you Dr. Laura Garcia, or Laura. Welcome, Laura.
Yeah. You
Thank
just
you.
want us to call her, not actually a doctor, but hey, just call me Laura.
Yeah, Laura.
Isn't that very humbling? Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, Laura. We have been seeing each other for many times, and we are very happy, and we want to welcome you in our show, The Teacher's Voice.
Right.
Thank you very much. Oh my God.
But before that, I want you back home and the rest of your in this world. Okay, it's your turn.
Okay, again, thank you so much for that kind introduction and very warm welcome. I am touched,
You're welcome.
and I didn't think that you would read all that bio, but yes, I am. Yeah, I'm passionate in giving back to the community because that's what my parents did too. My parents were both teachers, by the way.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they came from Luzon. I was born in Mindanao. Actually, we were all born in Mindanao.
Oh,
My parents were my mom was from Magsingal, Ilocos Sur. My dad was from San Manuel Tarlac. They've decided to go to Mindanao because at that time, that was the greener pastures.
right, right.
So they met in Mindanao. They
Oh.
worked there. They were school teachers, both
Okay.
school teachers. So I guess that's where I got my
Yeah.
genes, being a
Right.
teacher.
Yes.
It runs to the blood. It runs to the
That's
blood.
right.
So
Right.
this time, I want to ask this because you are very accomplished. We know that.
Yes.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So as an accomplished nurse, clinician, for more than 25 years, nagtaka ako. Sabi ko sa kanya, hey, when we were having our conversation, Tita Pasit, last time, sabi ko, hey, so what interests you to become an educator
Yeah.
and teach nursing, and you did not pursue like real face-to-face with the patient? So tell us about this. What interests you
What
to
made you-
become an educator and not to pursue like face-to-face with the patient?
Well, actually, I did. I did have a face-to-face encounter with patients. I was a clinician for, let's say, more than 25 years.
Right.
And, but I started teaching when I was still in the Philippines.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah, when I graduated sometime in the early 1980s, I was already married then. And as you know, I don't know if they still practice this in the Philippines, but when you are married, it's very difficult for you to get a job. So what I did, I went back to school to get my master's. And when you have your master's degree, you can teach.
Yeah.
And so a classmate of mine said, "Do you want to teach?" And I said, "Yeah, well, I think I can teach."
Yeah.
And so I did teach, but that was only a brief stint of teaching in the Philippines because I got an offer to come to the United States as a clinician. So I came, and I did not finish my master's degree in the Philippines because I came sometime in 1985. So I became a nurse clinician. I started in labor and delivery, and after that, a few years later, I went to maternity, the same umbrella, and then I pursued my master's because when this is just me, but when I start to do something, I want to finish it.
Of course, yeah.
And at that time, they already were accepting students online, or well, not necessarily virtually, but I was only short of finishing my thesis. So they said, oh, sure, you can finish your thesis and then just come back home and present that or defend that. And that's what I did. At the same time, because I really knew, or I was told that I would not be credited for those for my master's in the Philippines. My master's would not be credited here. So I said, okay, I'll take another master's.
Another master's
I have the
in the US.
Oh,
Okay.
that's
and then
a ball.
yeah. And then when I finished, well, not even when I finished my master's, the second master's, somebody also said, do you want to teach? And then I said, sure. And the hospital where I work, Long Island College Hospital School of Nursing, Long Island College Hospital, they have a school of nursing. So it was sort of a smooth transition because I was already precepting students who were in our clinic, who came to our clinical areas. So I realized that I really love nursing. I really love teaching. So then I became a full-time teacher.
Right. My question is, Laura, can you please talk to us about what courses or subjects you teach? I am not from your field, medical field. I'm from, the elementary education field. So can you tell us about the courses that you teach your classes?
Sure. I started teaching when I was in the Philippines. I taught midwifery students. So of course, the obstetric part. Obstetrics part. When I came here, I landed a job in labor and delivery. So I was
related.
Yeah. So now, when I work full time as a teacher, I chose the OB, and my second master's was about women's health. So now my forte is labor and delivery, maternity, the obstetrics. I also teach health assessment, fundamentals of nursing.
What is that? Can you tell us about that? How do you, assess health? Right.
Okay, we start with we expect our students to first know the anatomy and physiology. And that when they come to the health assessment course, we teach them how to do a head to toe assessment, check the head, and then the eyes, the nose, and the ears.
All the way down.
Yes, all the way down.
Really? Okay.
That is a part of nursing.
Right.
That's actually how we will be able to determine if you are well or not unwell, because if we find something during our assessment, our health assessment, then we can diagnose. By the way, not diagnose as medical
Right.
that is medically diagnosed. We do what we call nursing diagnosis. So once we have all the data that we've gathered, and if we see that patient has fever or patient is having chills and what have you, then we can we can diagnose that this patient has elevated temperature. So what are we going to do after we've assessed or we've made the diagnosis? We make plans. We make plans of what we should do. We provide the interventions. We give them a sponge bath, perhaps. We monitor their temperature again, and the rest of their vital signs, including blood pressure, heart rate, and respiration, and so on. And we give them medication as ordered by the doctor.
That's not an easy job. You know?
Maybe for Laura, okay yan, tita. Wala yan.
I know. I'm just thinking, So, right.
Yeah. Alam mo, I have a question. Interesting ito. The 25 years mo, Laura, for sa clinician side. And then sa teaching, how many years na nga ngayon?
Oh boy. Okay, let's see. Let's do the math. I will be revealing my age, but
don't worry.
I don't really mind. When you get to my age, you can say anything. You could do anything. You
look 25. Don't you worry. You look 25. Okay.
So, I graduated in 1981. I came here in 1985, and we are now 2000. Oh my God, 30 some. Is that 30?
30 years now.
30 years.
81 is 30. No, 40.
40.
2020. No, I'm sorry. Today is 2021, right?
Correct.
So that's 40 years.
40 years.
40 years.
I didn't even want to,
No, it's okay. You look great.
Okay, so 41 years.
Wait, this is my question. So let's say you have 25.
That will be my age.
Okay. Don't worry about that.
The question is that 25 years in nursing, real
clinic,
clinician, more than 30, So how can you share to us some of your experiences as a nurse and a teacher? Share to us your experiences, good experiences that you can share to everyone.
Okay, sure. There I've had wonderful experiences and happy experiences as a nurse and as a nurse educator. Let me start with being a clinician. The first few years of my nursing career here, where I landed in labor and delivery, were really the most fun years. I could not believe that I'm in the United States working. And so it's like, in spite of the fact that there's a lot of work to do, and it's very hectic in the labor and delivery areas, I was very thankful. And the only thing that was it's a funny experience though. We didn't mind the snobbish doctors. We didn't mind the managers who sometimes pick on you, but we were scared of the telephones. Because we, it was the language.
Yeah, right.
It's not necessarily the language barrier, but sometimes we can't understand what they're saying. For example, in the Philippines, we say calcium, we say magnesium, we say digoxin instead of digoxin, which is a cardiac medication. So here they say calcium, magnesium. So every time the phone rings, my colleagues and I just just go somewhere else. And there was one day, though, one night actually, I was alone. And well, there was a doctor there, but I have to stay at the nurse's station. Oh my God, the phone rang. So I picked up the phone
You have to.
and a guy said, my wife is having contractions every 1 to 2 minutes. So I put the man on hold and I told the doctor, and to which he responded, is that her first child?
Uh-huh.
And my response was, oh no, I think that's her husband. So she was, of course, the doctor, of course, was referring to whether I was speaking to.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
that her first child? And I said,
Yeah.
no, it's her husband. So there was a miscommunication. That was one of the embarrassing moments of my life.
Of course.
I can never forget that.
Yeah, I know. I know.
There's also another instance, right? And I was in labor and delivery, and I decided I wanted to go to maternity now because they were just starting to do the 12-hour shift. And labor and delivery, we're still having the 8-hour shift. And we wanted to go out. We wanted to just work 3 days a week or 4 days a week, as opposed to like almost working every day.
Okay.
So I got the position. There was an opening. I got the position to be a maternity nurse this time, maternity, and we alter with the nursery. At that time, unlike now, where we take care of both moms and babies, at that time, sometime in the 1980s, we either take care of the moms or the babies. So my colleagues always give me an assignment in the nursery. So there was a lot of screaming babies.
Right.
And one of my colleagues said, so Laura, don't you miss the screaming women in labor and delivery? And I said, well, not really, because I still hear screaming here. The only difference is that the baby could not vocalize the anyway, those were fun times.
Yeah.
But seriously though, the challenge, the other beautiful moments that I have when I was working as a clinician are when I receive notes, I receive cards from patients telling me that, thank you so much for taking care of me and my daughter or my son.
Yes.
Or when they come back to deliver the next year or the following year, they tell me, oh, Laura, you were the one who took care of me.
Oh.
So much. It's so heartwarming when they remember you. So that's, I can never forget that.
Very sweet.
Yeah.
Very nice.
But how about in your team?
Yeah, for my teaching. Oh, yes. I love my students. There are challenges, but I emphasize the beautiful moments that I have with them.
Right.
My students, actually, sometimes I get beautiful messages as well. And I would like to share one beautiful message from one student who wrote, those who can do, those who can do more, teach.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So I still have that note with me. And I hold that close to my heart, and to this day, I really thank my students because they inspire me.
Inspired you.
They're
Correct.
really,
Correct.
they're the ones who make me be who I am right now.
Right. Very, very nice. Very
Now,
nice. Nah.
Tita, I might have questions too. Some
Yeah,
questions, Laura.
yeah, I do. Yes, Laura, yung resume mo, nabasa, oh, by the way, pwede pala tayo dito mag-Tagalog, mag-Ilocano,
Oh,
mag-Bisaya.
good.
Okay, so anyway, yung resume mo ay napakahaba, showing us your academic accomplishments, professional accomplishments, saka yung mga ano mo pa, mga extracurricular mo sa community.
Mhm.
So, you know, you had your children before, mga bata pa sila, and then you have your job, full-time job, jobs pa nga yata, and then you went to school and you have your community involvement. How much inspiration and motivation are in play here? Paano mo nagawa yun na ma-accomplish mo itong lahat-lahat na ito despite, having all those multiple roles na ginagawa mo? Remember that our show is about inspiring teachers, no? I would like them to be inspired too, and then not really copy somebody, but then just maybe give them a tip as to how to, handle a schedule like, somebody who has a full-time job and all those other things. Could you please
And
tell?
as a mother,
Sure.
a wife,
Yeah,
yeah.
mother. Yeah, right.
Yes. Okay. Yes, it was not easy.
No, it
because,
wasn't.
First of all, my children were still young,
Yeah.
and I had to work night shift.
Oh.
And the only good thing about working night shift is you can work on your studies during the day.
Oh, okay.
So that was where I was able to juggle between
serve.
work and school. There were a lot of sleepless nights. Of course, the fact that I worked nights and sleepless days.
I
And
imagine.
so my colleagues actually were very supportive. That when they see me leave the unit, they see me in another unit because that's where I do my clinical. Parang it's that's where I do my rotation for my
Okay.
school.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's so I work at night and I work for my studies during the day.
Mm.
Well, I only have like 2 to 3 hours of sleep or sometimes.
Oh.
Yeah. So when I go back to I can only go home and shower and then, go back to maybe go back to work. And sometimes I use the library when I use the library of the hospital to do research, sometimes I just conk there while studying.
Uh-huh.
And it was not easy. But because of the support, because of the of my colleagues who tell me, there's a room in 22 that's empty. You can put there, and then while waiting for your shift, because I have to come to work early, so that for fear that I might oversleep. So colleagues who are really supportive, classmates in my
your courses.
In my courses who push us up.
You're right.
Lift us up. Right. So, and my children, oh my God, God bless their little hearts at that time, because they don't mind.
Right.
They don't mind when I just order food. There's a lot of, I'm not a cook to begin with, but there's a lot of take home or take out, or deliveries, home, in terms of food. But when I have a chance, I do cook. But guess what I cook? It's the canned, sometimes sardines, or sometimes the easy ones, the corned beef. And my son, oh my God, he's so sweet. He goes, "Oh my mom, this is the best.
Wow.
This is the best corned beef I've ever had."
Wow.
So that's just, oh my God, these little ones.
Very sweet.
You cannot exchange that for anything.
Right.
So they're very supportive of me too.
Okay.
But and also my mom, who was my inspiration, my siblings as well, my brothers and sisters, they were really they pushed me. They were the ones who instilled in me a desire for lifelong learning,
Beautiful.
Yes, and then they wanted me to be, they wanted me to succeed. So therefore,
Beautiful.
here I am. But most of all,
And Laura, you're not only a clinician, you are not just only a teacher, but we know, Filipino community knows that you're a very active leader when it comes to Filipino community. And tell us about this National Federation of Filipino
American
Association. Can you tell us about some current projects with this NAFA, right?
NAFA, New York. NAFA, well, it's NAFA National. And before I do that, I just wanted to, for those who are not familiar with NAFA, NAFA stands for the National Federation of Filipino American Association.
Correct.
And we focus on the three pillars that we focus: leadership development, civic engagement, and national advocacy. Right? And there are 14 regions members in NAFA. And the NAFA New York, where I am at, and I'm the current chair of NAFA New York, is a subchapter of the Northeast region.
Region 1.
Yeah, Region 1. And yes, and the past year, we've been really very busy. So we had partnered with the Northeast region and we did the Census 2020. We launched the Census 2020 because remember that was the year where we have to do the 10th year. Every 10 years we do
every 10 years of the census, yeah.
So we partnered with the Northeast region and we launched it virtually. That was the first activity that we did. The other activity that we did was also in partnership with the Association of Philippine Physicians Association, or APA, and the president is Dr. Romel Rivera. He is there is what we call the Philippine American Health Forums, or Fil-Am Health Forums, that he initiated. That was his brainchild. So we talked about COVID cases or COVID topics and other health topics that are related to our Filipino or
Yeah, the communities. Yeah.
Yes. Well, the disparities, health disparities
Oh,
among
okay.
the Filipino Americans. So we actually, this is our 19th episode. Last year we started with weekly Fil-Am health forums, and then later on we it became like we do it every maybe once a month or
Okay.
once
Yeah.
in 2 months. And this year we have been very busy also, and I am very thankful to our executive director Rachel Ocampo, who will be, by the way, who will be the next NAFA New York chair. And she's actually working in tandem with me because I'm also very busy with my work in
Yeah, of
school
course.
and with my other activities. So she and I are now like the NAFA chair. I consider
Right,
her
right.
the NAFA chair. So she was able to obtain grants, and this year we also did an in-person outreach for voter registration. That's our civic engagement, and we also did voter pledge. So those are some of the things that we did. And upcoming activity is going to be the 10 outstanding fathers of the,
Oh, yeah.
of the year.
Wow.
That was started by Nana Smith, yung
Correct. That is
fathers. Yeah,
yeah.
during around the time of the Father's Day, that's when she
Oh.
does that.
Now it has evolved. Yeah, it was supposed to be Father's Day, but because of the pandemic,
Yeah.
so
Going to be of the
Oh,
award.
the awarding will be in September, and we've moved. Well, not we've moved. We have actually extended the nomination. So if you know of any outstanding fathers out there, you can please, or if you know of anyone who would like to nominate, please let us know, because we've extended the nomination.
I'm so happy about what you're doing with NAFA. I used to be very active with NAFA in the late 90s and the early 2000s. And Steve Braga, he ran sa Woodside for the city council. He's a product of NAFA, yung ano bang tawag yan, leadership development or something.
Right.
Yeah, I worked with him before, but I'm sure he doesn't know me kasi mga bata sila kami matatanda na. Yeah, I worked with sina Romel Rivera, sina Rhoda Calma. Wala na, mga nasa background na kami, matatanda na kami. But NAFA is a very strong, and I admire the advocacies ng NAFA. I'm glad that it's still going strong. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, thank you for, because Steve and I were the ones who revived NAFA New York, because there was a hiatus, a couple of years of hiatus, and then Merit Salud. I don't know if you know Merit Salud.
Yeah, I know him. Yeah,
so he said, "Oh, you, the two of you, the young one, and then the young once upon a time."
Yeah.
Question.
ONCE.
Laura?
Yes.
I have a question. If in case that we have some friends that we want to nominate for the fathers, right? Fathers. Where will we submit the nomination?
Oh, please submit it to me. I will
give
my email. And I actually have my other officers, but you can submit it to me.
Okay,
Laura, you are not on Facebook. You don't have an announcement about the Outstanding Father Search on Facebook. We used to have that on Facebook, kaya maraming nakakakita. Could you put that on Facebook?
Yeah, we actually had it, and then we still have it. But you're right; it has to be constant, because we started it in, I believe, May or June or July. And you're right. I have to can maybe do it monthly until the
or
rest.
bi-weekly, yeah. Oo.
Or about
Yeah.
yes.
Please tag me and kasi marami din akong mga
Thank
kaibigan
you.
na.
That
Yeah.
would be great.
Laura, is it
Yeah.
possible that you can give us, because I have a very special person, very simple guy, very simple family, very simple father, but he produces a doctor, an engineer.
Oh, I see.
Wow.
That's one of the qualifications.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we also the qualification, the requirements,
Right.
because and these people, they need to be
Recognized. Yeah.
Oh, I totally agree.
because they are, the fathers are full of whatever careers, degrees, but these people who are just very simple, but they produce this kind of children
Children.
to the community, to the our society.
Right.
Yes.
To serve the
So
society. Yeah. Mhm.
Yes.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
That's why we had to revive it.
Okay.
And thank you for this. And I think we have
I have a question muna. Sandali lang. I have a question. Laura, giving back. You have a lot of activities dito sa US. Ano? What about the Philippines? Do you have anything to share with us? Or
Yes.
to inform our kababayan sa Pilipinas about your work there?
yes.
Well, actually, my mom, when my father died, by the way, my dad passed away when I was only 2 years old.
Oh.
Yeah, I never really saw my dad.
Yeah, yeah.
And then my mom was only, 45 years, no, 47. My dad was only 49. And so, and so when my dad passed away, my mom had donated a parcel of land to the government to put up a school.
Where is that?
School, an elementary school sa Butuan City.
Oh, okay.
Actually,
All right.
in Butuan City. So they, my mom put up that school in memory of my dad, so that we will produce more,
Educated students. Citizens, yeah. Mhm.
And when my mom passed away,
Sorry.
my siblings, thank you. She was already like 87 when she passed away. She was able to send us all to school, by the way.
Oh, by
All
yourself.
9 of us. No one graduated. No one had a degree yet when my dad passed away. But my mom, through hard work and diligence and dedication to education, she put us all to school.
College.
All were professionals. Thank God for that.
Wow.
And to my mom. So when she passed away, the siblings, we've decided to have a scholarship. Okay, so we have students, student scholars through that school, and that's one of our projects that we are pursuing, that we vowed to continue to do.
Very good. Very good. Yeah.
Salute
Yeah.
to the yes, not just only to your mom, but the whole family.
The whole family. Right.
True.
Mm-hmm.
And we can see that in the life of Laura, that Laura is not just only a nurse, a teacher, but your love to serve as a leader.
Other people. Correct.
It runs to their blood, ng tita.
Right.
Yeah. And right now, I think we are I'm very touched, Laura. And it's so nice that we have you today. And we want to share also some quotes or inspirational message to our listeners, to our teachers, the parents, and the students.
The listeners, yeah.
Our listeners, right.
Listeners, yeah.
Tita Pasit, and then Laura will do next, and I will be the one to close.
Okay. All right. Okay. First of all, Laura, thank you very much for ito, hindi to kaya ni Judilyn. Pinaunlakan mo ang aming imbitasyon sa iyo to appear sa Teacher Voice. Okay? Okay. Thank you very much. And you have shared so much about your work, your how to do things, at saka yung mga inspiration mo. At saka, I hope we had inspired our listeners. So anyway, this is what I'm going to leave our listeners and myself. Somebody said, knowledge will give you power. That's right. But good character will give you respect. So I think now I would like both knowledge and good character. And I would like to work hard to have knowledge and good character so that I will have both power and respect and use that power for the good of many. That's all.
Wow, so beautiful. Yes.
Thank you.
Right. Laura, if you have a message or quote.
Yes, I actually do have a message. And first of all, I want to thank you both and for this opportunity to be with you and to join you in this. This is an advocacy too, right?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
So then, yeah.
I'm busy too, Laura, but we are working on this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So my message is actually, family matters. You matter, and education matters. Education level is directly related to income and job security and correlates with health, mental well-being, and long-term financial security. But beyond economic implications, education correlates with basic human dignity. It is earned through hard work, diligence, and dedication.
Exactly.
Education is something that no one can take away from you and becomes part of fiber of the self. So go back to school for those who have not completed their schooling, or go to school, finish your high school, finish your college, go for your master's, go for your doctoral degree, and help shape the world and make it a better place. And I don't know if my students may be able to hear this.
To watch you, yeah.
But I have a message for my students. And that I want the world to know that I am thankful for my students, to my students as well, whom I hold with deep, or rather in deep regard, and from whom I have drawn inspiration to challenge myself in order to perform as a better teacher. And I want the world to know that they are also a source of inspiration.
Correct. That's right. Very good.
Beautiful.
Very good.
Summarize of what Tita Pasit said and Laura, that even in spite of all this careers of ours, of all this education, all this master's degree, our doctoral degree, I want to share this. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not unto your own understanding. We all have to acknowledge Him, and He shall direct our path. We will not be wise in our own eyes, but we need to trust the Lord. Thank you so much.
Very good, very good.
Thank
and
you.
Laura, thank you. Thank you,
Laura. Thank you. And more power to you.
More power.
More power.
Thank you. Okay, bye.
Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye now.